Hey there, I'm Dr. Andrew Rochford. Now, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're getting ready to celebrate the end of your schooling. First up, congratulations. That is something worth celebrating. And for some of you, that will mean a Schoolies adventure. That adventure might take you overseas, interstate, or a local caravan park. If you are planning to head to a Schoolies celebration, somewhere, anywhere in fact, there are some tips you should know before you go. These tips might sound simple and be things that you've heard before, but they are also things that could help you and your friends stay safe while having a fantastic and memorable Schoolies experience. Just before we get into it, don't worry, this is not a lecture, it's not a lesson, and it's not about stopping you from having fun. It's advice that can help you come home with great memories, not regrets. Let's talk about alcohol. The Schoolies had a reputation for drinking, but this has changed a lot in recent years. Your generation has more of a mature attitude when it comes to alcohol. Schoolies is less about drinking and sitting in your hotel room feeling hungover, and more about creating experiences and memories, and making the most of our friends being part of those occasions. For most of you, this Schoolies celebration will be the first time you're away without your parents. It also means that you and those around you might be thinking about drinking alcohol. If you are choosing to drink, it's important to moderate. Have a drink of water before having an alcoholic drink. Alternate between alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. Set yourself limits and stick to them. Avoid drinking in rounds or drinking games where others might try to set the pace of how much you're drinking. Pace yourself. Drink slowly. On average, it takes 1 hour to metabolize one standard drink. Try drinks with a lower alcohol content. Look out for your mates and encourage them to slow down if they've had too much. Have something to eat while or before you have an alcoholic drink, and plan ahead for a safe way to get home. So the key takeouts if you're choosing to drink alcohol: eat, alternate with non-alcoholic drinks, pace yourself. Now, that's how to moderate, but I'm sure you want to know the reasons why you should. Well, the quicker you drink, the quicker alcohol gets into your bloodstream, and there are increased risks with binge drinking. Impaired memory. Trust me, as someone who's old, well, kind of old, you want to remember these times with your friends. Disorientation and a loss of balance. The online likes you might get by trying to balance or jump from a height isn't worth a hospital stay. Greater risk of injury. You may feel invincible, but you're not. Swimming, driving, trying to do the latest TikTok trick after drinking are not good ideas. Neither is getting on an e-bike or e-scooter. Basically, anything with an E in its name. Vomiting. That social media profile you've spent years curating can be destroyed with one snap of you drunk and throwing up. Reduced ability to make good judgments. Keep your friends close. Don't leave a club or venue with someone you've just met or don't know well. Risk of alcohol poisoning. Too much can be life-threatening. Now, that seems like a lot, but with common sense, moderation, and maturity that you've got, you can avoid most of those things relatively easily. There are other risks that you should be aware of too, and these are especially dangerous if you're traveling to somewhere new that you've never been before and away from the comfort zone and safety net of your hometown. But there are steps you can take to reduce the risks. Drink spiking is when alcohol or illicit drugs are added to a drink without consent. Put yourself in the best position to avoid having your drink spiked. Get your own drinks. Watch the bartender pour it start to finish. Say no to drinks from strangers. It's not being rude to refuse, it's being smart. You don't know if they've added something to it. Watch your drink and those of your friends. Never let your drink out of your sight. Keep it covered. Don't give someone a chance to tamper with it while you're not looking. Don't be a drink spiker. Adding alcohol to a friend's drink without asking isn't generous or funny. Never give someone alcohol without their consent. Know the symptoms of drink spiking. The drugs used in drink spiking can make you feel disorientated, weak, and easily influenced. You might feel extremely drunk even if you've only had a drink or two. Also, watch out for feeling drowsy or confused, slurred speech, loss of balance or difficulty walking, hallucinations, loss of inhibitions, memory loss and blackout, nausea and vomiting, seizures or loss of consciousness. If you are heading overseas, a serious risk to be aware of is methanol poisoning. This is an important one to know about because even if you're not travelling overseas for schoolies, many of you will go overseas in the coming years, and this information could help save your life. Methanol can be added deliberately and illegally as a cheap means to increase the alcohol content of drinks, or it can be created accidentally due to poor production methods. Methanol is hard to detect because it is a clear liquid that tastes similar to ethanol, the alcohol in beverages, but is highly toxic. As little as one shot can be fatal. Australians have died or become seriously ill from methanol poisoning overseas. Drinking at reputable places reduces the risk of methanol poisoning, but doesn't eliminate it. If drinking, be suspicious of unusually cheap or discounted drinks claiming to be brand name alcohol. Don't drink drinks from unlabeled bottles or consume free or complimentary shots of alcohol. Try to choose known brands of beers, ciders, wines, and pre-mixed cocktails in sealed bottles and cans. Be wary about consuming spirits and liqueur-based drinks such as cocktails on the rocks, buckets, and shots. Symptoms of methanol poisoning can be similar to a bad hangover. However, they're usually stronger. Symptoms can take 12 to 24 hours to show and include feeling tired, dizzy, blindness, blurred vision, sensitivity to light, breathlessness, nausea and/or abdominal pain. A hangover that's worse than it should be or gets worse over time is a warning sign. It is really important that you don't try to sleep it off. Get urgent help and act quickly if you suspect methanol poisoning. Urgent medical care could save your life or prevent permanent disability.
We know how much your Schoolies adventure means to you because we remember how much it meant to us and our friends. Any occasion where you get to experience new things with your friends is exciting.
That's why 2 of our close friends, Bianca and Holly, were so excited about travelling overseas together. They'd been talking about it and planning for it. It was going to be a trip of a lifetime. They were like you, they were smart and they knew how to look after themselves.
Which is why it was so devastating that something outside of their control ended their lives. They were out having fun, having some drinks. They'd done that here in Australia without any issue, but this time it wasn't in Australia and it was different. The drinks they consumed on this occasion contained methanol.
They didn't know it when consuming the drinks, but they were poisoned. Soon after, they were found unresponsive, rushed to hospital, but couldn't be saved. You've just heard about the things you need to watch out for regarding methanol poisoning. We're here to tell you that it's not just advice, it's potentially life-saving advice.
If something feels wrong or your mate looks unwell, don't ignore it, act quickly. It could make the difference. And remember, if a situation is no longer in your control, call for help and call your parents too.
We don't want you to go through what we have gone through. Nothing will ever bring Bianca and Holly back, but knowing what happened to them might help you and your mates make safer choices. Have fun and celebrate, but make smart decisions and come home safe.
There are also a few additional tips if you're heading overseas for schoolies or some other time in the future. Firstly, if you are involved in an accident or injured and alcohol or drugs are involved, you or your family may have to pay the cost of property damage or medical bills. Pay attention to your surroundings. Know how you're getting to and from locations you're unfamiliar with and where your accommodation is. Have a plan to get back there at the end of the night. If something doesn't feel right and you or a friend feels sick or something feels off after drinking, don't try to sleep it off. Trust that gut feeling. It's your brain's built-in alarm system. Know what to do if something goes wrong and you need help. Put important emergency contact details into your phones. It could save your life. We all know it's 000 in Australia, but did you know it's 112 in Indonesia or 911 in the US? Let someone you trust know what's going on. Call home to Australia and let your parents know what is happening, or do this for your friend that might be in trouble. Check out smarttraveller.gov.au before you go for the latest advice on your destination and to sign up for free email alerts if something changes while you're away. No matter where you are, there are some other things that you'll do to look after your friends just because you're a good mate. Set some ground rules before the night kicks off. Everyone has charged phones, no one goes off solo, no one gets left behind. Check in with each other, especially if someone seems out of it or upset. Make sure you have each other's phone numbers or are on a group chat. If you get separated or decide to split up, have a set time and place to meet later. If someone doesn't show, search for them. Don't just assume they're okay. Make sure everyone has the name, number and address of where you are staying and knows safe transport options. If you're the one keeping it together, checking in on your mates or calling out dodgy situations, people notice. You set the tone. You don't have to be the parent of the group, just be the one who doesn't ignore red flags. If you feel pressured to do something you're not cool with, whether it's more drinks, something sketchy, or going somewhere unsafe, it's okay to say no. Others might be thinking that it's okay to do something because you're willing to do it. One person saying no can give others the strength to say no too. Remember, real friends won't push you into doing something you don't want to do. This is a momentous occasion. You're finishing school, and that is something to celebrate. We all just want to ensure you get home safe with great stories to tell. If you're traveling with mates, let them know these tips. It could protect them. All right, that's it from me. But I want to leave you with this one. The choices you make, they matter. Staying safe means staying smart and making sure this Schoolies adventure is something you'll remember for all the right reasons.